So this is it, the finale to a long, arduous, yet trophy-laden season. The culmination of an extraordinary journey that gave a tantalising glimpse of unparalleled success, but that ends now with a treble on the cards. And what a voyage that stretches back more than a year to Alisson's Hawthorn's heroics, the moment everything swung back in their favour, to seeing off the reigning Spanish and Italian champions and the sides that would be crowned kings of Italy and Portugal to wind up here in a 10th European Cup final. Real Madrid in Paris, been there, done that. But can they now do it again? When Jurgen Klopp arrived at Anfield, the Reds had only qualified for the Champions League once in 6 seasons, but they've now reached the third final out of 5, a statistical statue to his reign. Standing in their way, V-side for the big occasion. Real Madrid, the irrepressible masters of this tournament, with a handy line and escapology, and a road to the final that resembles the footballing equivalent of a plot from Rocky, surviving standing 8 counts against PSG and Chelsea, before scrambling off the canvas against Manchester City. Matches that showed evidence of fallibility, but matches they won. Now they stand on the verge of history, chasing a 14th European Cup triumph that dwarfs all comers, and they haven't lost the European Cup final since 1981. The victors then, Liverpool. Well, tonight Liverpool are at full strength, including 9 men who've won this competition in the past. Thiago starts, despite appearing to have a worry over a calf problem in the warm-up. It's Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago, Salah, Mane and Diaz. Real have 6 former winners, but those 6 have 21 Champions League winners' medals between them. Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Eder Militao, Alaba and Mendy, Modric, Casemiro and Kroos, Valverde narrow on the right, Benzema through the middle, Vinicius wide on the left. Liverpool away to our right-hand side in front of the end of the ground that thankfully is almost full now. The pockets of empty grey seats that we've been witnessing for a good hour and a half or so after the supporters finally started coming in, they now appear to be pretty full. There are still clearly some empty seats in there. Clearly supporters with tickets still outside aren't going to be in time to see the start of the game. You can only hope that they make it in unscathed, safely, to see as much of the match as they can. There will be an inquiry, I'm sure, about what has happened outside. Hope the lessons are learned. Well, the players have paused before kick-off to reiterate there's no room for any form of racial discrimination. Well, these are the nights when heroes are made, where history will be written, where the moments that will be forever etched upon the mind's eye materialise. The red against the white, Liverpool against Real Madrid. The 2022 Champions League final is underway. It's Liverpool who kick from right to left in this first half, and the first free kick goes Real Madrid's way on the edge of their own penalty area. Alongside me here on TalkSport, Andy Townsend.
Right, delighted we're finally underway with the Liverpool end looking, as you said, Jim, pretty much packed. So we'll discuss, no doubt, all of that after long into the night. Right now, there's a game to be won. Of course, all the worry with Thiago, who's on the ball right now.
The ball played through towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to get Mane in, but Modric is able to get it away, and then again a free kick is given, and it's Real Madrid's just outside the Real Madrid penalty area away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, just saying about Thiago, really fascinating watching him in the warm-up. He clearly didn't want to join in with the rest of the guys. Long conversations with his coach, with Jurgen Klopp. A big cuddle for Naby Keita. Almost felt like it was a case of he's not going to start, but he's out there. Let's hope now he can really give a good account of himself.
And Thiago involved here as Liverpool win a free kick. They've started very brightly on the front foot, playing at a good tempo from the off, and the vast majority of the players been concentrated within 15-20 yards of the Real Madrid penalty area, and that's where this free kick is going to be taken from. and Andy Robertson stands over it. Everybody back for Real Madrid, and an early chance here for Liverpool.
I do think Liverpool have height advantage in these situations with Konate, with Van Dijk, with Fabinho. Sadio Mane also very good in the air. I don't think Madrid are blessed with tons of guys, really giant guys to deal with these.
Alexander-Arnold swinging in, but it was Benzema that headed it away. He didn't get the elevation that he needed. Well, it certainly can't be said the second time of asking, as he hooks a high up and under inside the penalty area. It just rolls through for Courtois. He bowls it out for Toni Kroos. Kroos to Mendy. Now an opportunity for Real to be able to bring the ball forward for the first time. They love that long defence-splitting ball from Eder Militao forward to try and get Vinicius free, and he's standing on the left-hand touchline waiting for it to be played. Liverpool's intense pressure was good. It forced Thibaut Courtois into a stumble and a scuffed clearance. Real do get it forward towards Alisson, and he will just play out from the back, and then nervously Konate in his first Champions League final finds Fabinho, and Thiago then will continue his run forward as Alexander-Arnold plays it forward. Mane gives chase, but it's knocked away by Alaba at the heart of the Real Madrid defence. 0-0 in the very early stages, 3 gone here on TalkSport.
Yeah, indeed, you're right, Jim. When that ball went back to Courtois, the full-on press was there from Liverpool. That back line was right on the halfway line. So no worries in terms of Vinicius. No, they're just definitely, as you would have expected, Liverpool absolutely playing to the way that they know best, and that's to press and go after their opponent.
Real bring it forward now for the first time. Vinicius can't find a way past Jordan Henderson, who sticks out a foot, just doubling up in front of Alexander-Arnold. It goes out of play for a Real Madrid throw. Referee tonight, the Frenchman, very highly regarded, as you would imagine, playing a match of this stature, Clement Turpin. His compatriot Karim Benzema has just lost possession, and Liverpool have a chance to bring it forward from inside their own half, looking for Luis Diaz's run, but the angle on the ball forward wasn't what it might have been, and it rolls through for Thibaut Courtois, who'll pick it up and then bowl it out for Dani Carvajal. He finds Militao on the D on the edge of his own penalty area. Kroos drops deep. Casemiro just plays the way that he's facing back for Militao. And when Real have possession inside their own half, they slow it down almost to a walking pace.
Look at them again, Jim. Look where that Liverpool back line is, 3-4 yards from the halfway line. Now Militao goes long in behind Andy Robertson.
Trying to find Valverde, and Robertson wins the first battle of those two. It just comes off the nape of his back and goes out of play.
That's not a problem for Liverpool. If Militao or Alaba go long into Andy Robertson's gully, he'll deal with Valverde in that respect. It's when they do it off the other side, how quickly Liverpool can get back into a shape and defend it.
Cross goes wide for Mendy. Vinicius back in towards Benzema, who's dropped very deep for a moment just to link up the play. Liverpool quickly getting their shape back behind the ball as it's worked right-footed by Kroos. Across the midfield for Dani Carvajal. Right-footed swept in by Eder Militao. That's some ball. Vinicius left-hand side of the penalty area. Benzema makes a run outside him, quickly gets back into an onside position and then receives a chip ball from Toni Kroos. Down for Benzema again. 44 goals in his 45 games this season, including 15 in the Champions League. Militao tries to bring it forward, and Robertson is able to play it off him, and it goes out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side. 5 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, already shaping up as we thought. When Liverpool can press, they're really going for it. And Real Madrid, of course, when they get Kroos in particular so far, I haven't seen too much of Modric yet in the opening 5 minutes, but when they get reasonable possession, they're going to spin it in behind Liverpool and see how they deal with it.
Fabinho engaged by Modric in the midfield, taps it to his right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold smacks it from the right flank over to the left, where Robertson can control it, and then Luis Diaz plays it back in field towards Fabinho. Worked forward by him into the feet of Sadio Mane. This is last Liverpool game. Back for Thiago. No ill effects for him so far. Receives it again from Robertson. Now Thiago just lends it to Jordan Henderson. He goes actually the other way, back towards Konate, who was brought up only 4 or 5 miles from here in a southerly direction on the eastern side of the city. Ball played into the feet there of Mane, who it looks as though he's brought down by Casemiro. The referee says play on. Benzema with a clever little flick, gets Valverde in on the right-hand side. It then comes back off Thiago for Valverde again. Takes it down towards the corner flag, sweeps in across towards the edge of the area. Fabinho with a little cushion header is able to find Thiago, and Liverpool will be able to bring it away.
Yeah, just for a split second there was a chance for a big switch for Vinicius. They didn't take it. Liverpool have the possession down their right side.
And they got it with Salah. Salah to Alexander-Arnold. Salah showing for the return ball. Mendy read it. Steps up from the defensive line. Passes it to Luka Modric. He's one of the players in this Real side who aim to emulate Ronaldo's record of 5 Champions League winners' medals. Now the first ball over the top, and he's trying to get Vinicius in, and out comes Alisson. Konate waiting for his goalkeeper to come out and deal with it. He did with his head on the edge of the penalty area, but that was that same long ball forward that Konate struggled with against Wolves early on last week.
Very true. We're going to see a lot of Alisson doing that tonight. That's another way to try and nullify that ball over the top. Can the goalkeeper at the right moment step outside of that 18-yard box and deal with it? He did it very well there.
But the worry in doing that is this playing surface, which we've talked about, the fact that it was only laid on Thursday could be an inconsistent bounce, and goalkeepers just having to trust stuff when it comes forward like that. That one bounced, and it wasn't a lively bounce, just sort of bounced and sort of thudded up really, took the sting out of it, and that might have deceived Alisson. He dealt with it very well, but it's going to be difficult for him.
They did indeed, What we're seeing again, Fabinho will sit as we would expect, and if Konate is drifting out to the right hand side where he is sort of marking Vinicius, Van Dijk in the middle, Robertson on the left, Fabinho can almost become another central defender and allow Trent just to stay that little bit further forward. So he's got to play that role quite cute, doesn't want to sit too deep all game, wants to be able to get on the ball and probe like he is now.
And here's Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's just been drifting into the half space really. Almost like the same kind of movement that a Manchester City fullback might provide, making diagonal runs forward into the centre of the pitch from his fullback area, and Vinicius isn't following him.
No, he's not. He won't do that, Jim, either. Vinicius will only go so far back. He's not there to sit in front of Ferland Mendy and help too much defensively. He wants to always look forward and get going in that direction. So a lot of tactical little nuances, and it's all very clever at the moment.
And Henderson's got space on the Liverpool right, and it's the Reds fans that you can hear. Play forward by Alexander-Arnold. Salah rolling it down the line. Mane gets to the bar line, pulls it back, and just not quite in time. Salah's fired it over the bar. Flag's long since up. And it's a goal kick which is going to be taken away to our left-hand side. You're listening to Liverpool against Real Madrid in the Champions League final. It's live on TalkSport with Heycar. Buy a quality check used car with a 10-day money-back guarantee. Search Heycar to find yours. 10 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. And here's the former Ireland World Cup star Andy Townsend.
Yeah, good start to the game, nice and bright. Liverpool again looking quite confident and composed when they're in possession. Very aware of what Madrid are all about. Yes, every now and again Modric, Casemiro and Kroos, they keep it and they roll it along the back, and then all of a sudden in a flash they want to play it in behind.
And Thiago's unlucky, he just got the angle wrong, and the ball fall for Luis Diaz, who'd made a run in behind Dani Carvajal. Goes out of play for a throw. But there have been lots of signs of early promise for Liverpool in the opening 10 minutes without either goalkeeper having to get his hands dirty so far.
Yep, so far, you're right. I think quite a confident start from Liverpool, and it's very apparent they're playing the way that they see best. They're not sitting there waiting. I think you'd have to say that Real Madrid are perhaps sat behind the ball in numbers that little bit more. Liverpool wanting to get on the front foot, wanting to get their key people involved.
Now Real have turned possession over inside their own half. Benzema trying to bring it forward and get Vinicius away. And it goes out of play, deflected out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Real Madrid left. When Jurgen Klopp was asked in one of the press conferences this week about tactics, how you deal with Vinicius, how you deal with Real Madrid, and he gave the answer, well, we'll just play our normal game.
Yeah.
That wasn't a bluff. They are playing their normal game. They're always likely to. I don't think anybody listened to those words and said, yeah, we'll see. But they have been true to their word, and this is Liverpool doing what Liverpool do.
Yep.
Salah's got the ball. Lays it back for Henderson. Scooped over the top. Carvajal backpedaling, heads it away, out for a Liverpool throw, 20 yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Luis Diaz really getting at Dani Carvajal, the Madrid defender. Again, very capable, huge experience. That's another fascinating matchup. There's lots of them. Here's Diaz getting at him for the first time.
Yeah, Robertson's played him in and he's got it, and he's very cleverly worked it round the corner for Mane. Mane trying to supply the return ball, and then Diaz chasing after it. Carvajal off balance. Did well to shepherd it over the line and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah. Again, I think a reasonable start from Liverpool. Now we're seeing the ball with Thibaut Courtois. It's a goal kick, and here comes the press, Jim.
Played out from the back, and Mane very quickly engaged. Alaba launches it forward long, and Konate just shuffles across in behind Alexander-Arnold to cover that run from Vinicius. Liverpool win it back. Salah back for Fabinho, who along with Thiago passed fit to play yesterday. If you're just joining us, there were concerns about Thiago during the warm-up before events outside really overtook the focus on the football, but Thiago and Fabinho both passed fit to play, and Thiago getting through that warm-up. It looked as though at one stage Keita might be starting instead of him. Van Dijk just heads it down here for Fabinho. Now Alexander-Arnold with the diagonal out towards Luis Diaz. He'll take a step back and control it beautifully, and now a chance for him to run at Carvajal. Works it back onto his right foot. He's outside the penalty area now. 3 white shirts between him and the edge of the box. Good little 1-2 with Thiago. Robertson, left-footed ball, took a deflection. That gave an awkward bounce, and eventually Mendy can just get his chest to it, and Courtois comes out to claim it.
So Trent is almost playing like a right midfielder. And Liverpool out of possession are going 3 at the back with Robertson, Van Dijk and Konate is almost in a right full-back position as we speak, directly standing there up against Vinicius. So we're going to see a lot of that. Trent now just starting to funnel back, but the minute there's a threat, Konate is always looking to get himself out into that right-hand side where he can protect Trent or even mark Vinicius himself.
Diaz has done well to win it back, but Salah couldn't get the ball into his stride, and now Real, having turned over possession, looked long and quick, and they found Vinicius, and Benzema's making his way to the middle, and Konate has done brilliantly. He's not got the ball back yet. Now he has. First he forced him wide, now he gets it and can come away with it, and then engages Kroos and plays it out towards Mo Salah.
Brilliant.
And he wins the throw. That was sensational.
That's exactly what you want from him. That's his job tonight. He's not a central defender to just stand alongside Van Dijk and take care of Benzema. Tonight he's got to get out there and sort Vinicius out, and he did it brilliantly there. He just waited for the right moment to intercept and then powerfully strode forward right over the halfway line. So that's really good play from him. That'll do him the world of good confidence wise too.
The pitch is not good, by the way. 14 minutes in 0-0. Robertson has just sent a ball along the carpet towards Van Dijk, and it rolled about 10 yards and then just hopped up about a foot and then went back down to ground level again. It's not running smoothly. Logistically, this has not been a Champions League final, has it? Alisson playing it out from the back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Thiago. Thiago forward towards Fabinho, who will emerge through the midfield and then go back for Thiago again. Mane's dropped off this time into the inside left position. Robertson will come in off the left flank, right in front of Carlo Ancelotti, who stands in his dark suit towards the edge of the technical area, watching his side on the back foot here. Alexander-Arnold getting past one challenge, getting it across. Salah, good save. Salah off balance, did well to get his right foot to it towards the near post. Courtois was initially going the wrong way, did very well to react, got a strong left hand to it. Best chance for either side in the final. Henderson tries to find a way through now. Modric clears it, hits Salah. Diaz coming onto it with a left-footed shot, blocked by Carvajal. Falls on the corner of the penalty area for Robertson. Good pressure this. Thiago with an effort. Stings the palms of Courtois, but that's a comfortable stop. One he made before it from Salah was an excellent save.
Best spell of football from Liverpool. Really good. Their shape is giving Real Madrid serious problems. It really is. I like it. I really like the look of what I'm seeing. You know, it's like a back 3 with Fabinho sat in front of that, then 4 strung along in a line, and you got Sadio Mane and Mo Salah that bit narrower up front. So really clever the way that they've set up here. Every now and again, as Trent just did there, he'll get back and get back into a back four situation. But when they've got the ball, Liverpool certainly playing with a lot of freedom, and right now their shape is causing all the problems.
And Thiago has it, just lets the ball roll between his legs, and he can change the direction and find Luis Diaz. Back for Thiago again. Robertson goes square to Jordan Henderson. Back for the Scotsman once more. Rolled in inside the penalty area. Mane with an opportunity. Salah! Left-footed effort, saved by Courtois. 3 shots on target in 90 seconds for Liverpool, but it stays 0-0.
Great football again, that was lovely. Lovely interplay between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. The first time shot, not straightforward, not easy, but he picked it up really well. Unfortunately, like the last attempt, pretty much straight at Thibaut Courtois, who was able to deal with it quite comfortably, but good spell this for Liverpool. I think they're sensing that they've got the upper hand in these opening exchanges, which is great.
So much to talk about already after events in Paris today, and much more after the game as well. The ball is played for by Valverde, and Canate just tracked the run of Vinicius. Benzema on that occasion just peeled out into the left wing position. Vinicius made a run from out to in, just wondering what Canate was going to do, but he tracked him and marked the space very effectively.
Yeah, Valverde there actually played the ball in too heavy. If he plays that a bit softer, Vinicius was just running across the front of Canate, just trying to get on the end of that cross. That was a good little passage of play from Madrid. It was nothing special, it was just a couple of passes in midfield, and again they tuck it in behind that Liverpool back line that is really high and aggressive.
That's Andy Townsend alongside me, Jim Proudfoot, here at the Stade de France tonight. Thiago plays it forward. Mane's got it right hand side of the penalty area. He's forced outside the box down towards the corner flag, but he's able to lay it back here for Salah. Salah rolling in for Alexander-Arnold on the corner of the Real Madrid penalty area. Henderson back for Mane again. Mane to Salah. Salah setting it up for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he's hit a rising drive way over the bar. All of the efforts though concentrated away to our left hand side. It's Liverpool on the front foot, the better team through the opening 19 minutes, but it's still goalless.
Without doubt, the better team. They look like they are totally aware and understanding exactly of what's being required of them. There's that shape now, Jim. When you look at it now, a back three with Fabinho that drops into it to make it a 4, then 4 strung along the middle. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jordan Henderson, Thiago and Luis Diaz off the left, with Sadio Mane and Mo Salah up front. So it's working very well as we speak. Now, of course, we've seen this with Real Madrid. I've seen this, exactly what's happening here on a number of occasions this season, where they're getting outplayed, they're getting outdone, they go behind, and yet they somehow find a way to cope with it. But so far so good from a Liverpool point of view. They're the better team.
Coming up on Monday, 2 former Liverpool men, Dean Saunders and John Barnes, joining Ali McCoist and Jamie O'Hara. Monday morning TalkSport breakfast. Laura's off a well-earned break over the course of this week, so Ali in the chair Monday morning, TalkSport at 6, and plenty of reaction to what has happened in Paris on and off the field today. Thiago playing it forward towards Mane. It's 0-0. Mane trying to work the angle, right for his shot. Wow. It's hit onto the post, and it comes back into the hands of Courtois. It's another magnificent save from a goalkeeper who has been extended over the last couple of minutes. Liverpool so desperately unlucky as Mane's effort just helps onto the post, but he comes back off the post. Could easily have hit his back and rolled in, but it just went over his back and to safety.
Fantastic play from Sadio Mane in the box.
Now Alisson has come way out of his own penalty area as Real Madrid work it long at the other end, and Liverpool surviving. And Alexander-Arnold will be able to bring it forward. Mane, the man for the big occasion, has been in wonderful goal-scoring form, hitting the post, but only after a magnificent save from Thibaut Courtois. Denied him his 10th goal in his last 14 matches. Yeah,
foul on Casemiro in the middle of the park, just enabling us all to draw a breath. Brilliant play from Liverpool. As I mentioned, the ball arrived at Sadio Mane's feet in the box. He's got Militao very close to him. He skipped and danced past him, got it onto that right foot and let it fly, and it's flying into the corner of the net. before those long limbs of Thibaut Courtois just threw himself to his right, and that fingertip save pushing it onto the post, so close to taking the lead.
Well, not too many players have, in the grand scheme of things, have scored in a couple of Champions League finals. Even fewer will have scored in 2 Champions League finals against the same opposition, but Sadio Mane was inches away from doing that then. Scored in both legs of the semis, 3 goals in his last 4 Champions League ties, and what may well prove to be his Liverpool swan song. It would be the perfect way for him to go if he's going to win the Champions League for Liverpool. Now Robertson's done well, squeezed it forward here for Luis Diaz, running at Eder Militao, then Casemiro came and unceremoniously but fairly blocked him off on the edge of the penalty area. No complaints from the Liverpool players. Carvajal and Kroos between them can bring it away. Mane with a sliding challenge, had a little nibble and maybe got Kroos as well as the ball, but play goes on with Real in possession, and Alaba will find Eder Militao, and again Ancelotti's men will try and very calmly play their way out from the back. We're midway through the first half. It's 0-0, but all Liverpool.
Yeah, all Liverpool. Haven't seen anything really of Luka Modric, who's often the architect for Real Madrid. Casemiro and Kroos have just resorted so far when they've had the ball at their feet just to spin it in behind to try and get Vinicius on his way, but Liverpool have dealt with that, have got that situation so far under wraps. Of course it can change at any given moment, but I've been really impressed tactically with the way Liverpool started the game. They've definitely had a way of combating Real Madrid, and it's worked, and also they're making serious inroads themselves.
Kroos plays it out towards Mendy, who comes off the left flank and then goes back for Toni Kroos again, who played in both of the group stage wins that Real Madrid had against Liverpool back in the 14-15 season. Also a 4-time Champions League winner, once with Bayern Munich back in 2013 against Klopp's Dortmund. Ball launched long again by Courtois. Robertson heads it away. Fabinho cushions the header down for Alexander-Arnold, who's having to get in this new system through an inordinate amount of work, because when Liverpool have the ball, it is a back three, as Andy superbly detailed, but when they haven't, he will drop back into that right back role. Salah working it forward, almost able to squeeze it in towards the run of Mane, couldn't quite. Then Thiago committed to try and get to a loose ball ahead of Casemiro, but couldn't quite get the toe of his right boot to it, and Real will be able to bring it away and do so with Karim Benzema. Modric down just for a moment, but just overseeing some running repairs, I think, to his right boot. Nothing more serious than that. It's 0-0. Valverde lays it down towards the right-hand side. Kroos finding Carvajal, who sweeps it on the volley. First time back for Luka Modric. Down for Carvajal again. A yard in off the Real Madrid right flank. Back once more towards Modric. Modric is only 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Happy to go back into his own territory for firstly Eder Militao and then Kroos, who is the midfielder that drops deep and splits the two centre-halves. Now he goes out towards Vinicius. Mendy making his way forward down the Real Madrid left is very quickly there in support. Vinicius comes in off that left flank, in towards Benzema, but into the hands safely of Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. 0-0.
Yeah, full stretch Alisson there to claim that cross from Vinicius. Whenever the ball goes out to the Real Madrid winger, whether it's Canate in that gully first or whether it's Jordan Henderson going out to double team him with Trent Alexander-Arnold, they're not leaving. Liverpool very cleverly so far have not allowed their right back to be left exposed in any way, shape or form. They're allowing him to do what he does, I think, better than any other fullback arguably now in the world, and that's playing that forward position. Look where he's standing now, Jim. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's almost like a right midfielder.
Mane forward towards Luis Diaz, trying to go the long way round Carvajal, who's forced him down towards the corner flag. Diaz with the last touch, should be a Real Madrid throw, it is, which they will take in their own right back position. 50-50 the possession at the moment. 6 attempts without reply in Liverpool's favour, 4 of them on target, 1 of them tipped onto the post. That's as close as they've come so far. It is 0-0.
Yeah, indeed. Luis Diaz, when he gets the ball at the moment, I'd just like to see him have something, just one thing definite in his mind. He's trying to run with it. He's running into white shirts.
Now here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. in a central position. Jordan Henderson takes over, trying to chip it inside the penalty area for Trent's run. Couldn't get it right. It's cleared. Konate, though, heading it forward. He's had a really good start of the game. Real Madrid get it away with Mendy. Benzema, and just laying it back for Mendy again. And the fullback will come forward and then lay it off for Toni Kroos. Kroos bringing so much experience, as does this man Luka Modric, who chips it with the outside of the right boot down towards Mendy. Now Benzema dropping deep again. Modric once more from well inside his own half. Looks for the long ball, looking for getting over the top of Robertson. He half managed it. Robertson got his boot to it. He went up in the air, but it still came down Carvajal's way. He's laid it back for Luka Modric here. Modric is 20 yards outside the penalty area. It's still 0-0 on a coolish night in northern Paris. Robertson to Henderson as Liverpool get it back, and then Fabinho will chip into space for Mo Salah, who controls it on his thigh. And now brings it forward, finding Alexander-Arnold. Goes back for Salah, but Vinicius picked his pocket. Casemiro's got it in the midfield. He tries to work it forward, but smacked it straight into the ribcage of Jordan Henderson. And the loose ball broke Thiago's way, and Henderson now will conduct proceedings from the midfield and lay it off for Fabinho. 0-0. Liverpool, the dominant force, but they haven't been able to find a breakthrough so far after the heroics of Thibaut Courtois in his first Champions League final as a Real Madrid player, though he did lose one against them back in his Atletico days. Robertson's got it. Down for Luis Diaz, another playing in this showpiece event for the very first time. Robertson back for Thiago, winner with Bayern. Now Fabinho. Fabinho 20 yards outside the penalty area, worth an attempt, but he's skied it over the bar under pressure from Casemiro, his international teammate. Little word between the pair of them as the ball sails over Courtois' goal towards the Real Madrid supporters, and we're 28 minutes in at 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, so far I think Liverpool's game plan is working very well. Can we deny Modric and Kroos and those in possession of the ball? Yes. Can they dominate possession themselves? Yes. And just as I'm talking there was a chance to get Vinicius just in behind that high Liverpool back line. Very nearly did it. But again, sorry Jim, just, I think so far so good. I don't think it could have gone better for Jurgen Klopp, other than that Sadio Mane shot sneaking in.
Here's Salah, edge of the penalty area, back for Mane. So many white shirts to try and successfully navigate for Liverpool. They work it back to Jordan Henderson. Henderson even further backwards towards Fabinho. Now Thiago plays an adventurous ball. It's a perfect one as well out towards Alexander-Arnold. Great control. Henderson scooping it in, but into the hands of Thibaut Courtois, who's been much the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. We're 29 minutes in and it's still 0-0. 1981 across town from here at the Parc des Princes. Alan Kennedy was the Liverpool hero. Real beating Liverpool in the final in 2018 when Benzema scored, Mane equalised, and then Bale scored twice. We have met at other stages of the competition as well, including the quarterfinals last season, where in front of no supporters Real Madrid beat Liverpool 3-1 at home at the training ground, with Vinicius scoring twice that day. Now they'll play it forward. They might be able to get him in.
Well
Alexander-Arnold came across. That was the right pass, and Alexander-Arnold read it, and he just nudged it away. And if he hadn't got to that, Vinicius was clean through.
You know why, Jim? Because Konate followed Benzema in, right in deep into Madrid territory.
Liverpool with Salah inside the area, but not for long, because Kroos stuck out a foot and Mendy could do the rest. And now Kroos will bring it forward, and Benzema will sweep it wide out towards Dani Carvajal. Half an hour in. Carvajal forward in towards the feet of Karim Benzema. Back for Federico Valverde. Just joining us. A delay to kick off of some 36 minutes tonight because of problems that the Liverpool supporters had getting into the ground, of which so much will be said, and rightly so. Mendy back towards Casemiro. Kroos to Alaba, and now away to Militao. Back for Alaba again. That's why the delayed kick-off. We're only just past the half-hour mark in the First half, you would have expected us to be past the hour mark by now. Alaba to Kroos. Real Madrid going backwards. Salah engaging, just forcing Kroos to go further back. He's playing Eder Militao, and now Modric to Carvajal and back again. Modric, just a flurry of limbs as he changed direction, seemingly in mid-air, but kept the ball within about an eighth of an inch of his foot.
Yeah, lovely play from Luka Modric.
And he's got it again, just finding those little pockets of space. Casemiro, though, only found Sadio Mane. Mane can play it forward for Salah. Salah had time to think about what he was doing next, but ran straight in towards Mendy. And now Benzema dropping deep can pick it up, and he can run 20 yards, 30 yards. Little reverse ball in towards Vinicius. Didn't get there because it was under hit, probably on this awkward playing surface. And Van Dijk read it and got across and was able to sweep up.
Yep. He certainly did there. Mo Salah, not for the first time, conceding possession a little too easy. Want to do everything at 100 mile an hour. Just needs to take a little bit more care when he's trying to run with the ball. It might not be that sort of surface tonight to run with it. You might want someone to clip it in behind the white shirts and run after it. But so far, every time he's had it, he's pretty much gave it away.
Mane's on the ground. No foul in the eyes of French referee Clément Turpin. It's the 2022 Champions League final. Liverpool have hit the post. An effort from Mane that was brilliantly saved by Courtois, and the frame of the goal did the rest for him. Here's Alaba. He's gone to his right-hand side for Eder Militao, and now he looks for the long diagonal ball punted towards Andy Robertson. He gets there ahead of Valverde. Mane losing out to Kroos, but the referee's pulled it back. He's seen an infringement in there, and Modric involved. It's a free kick to Liverpool about 10 yards inside Real Madrid territory, as Carvajal, it was in fact, that is the player that has been punished for clattering into Luis Diaz. Free kick to Liverpool.
What they're doing well, Liverpool, when they go out of possession, possession, beg your pardon, and Real Madrid have the ball, they're kind of positioning themselves up front to allow Militao to knock it out towards Andy Robertson and Valverde. They're deliberately showing Real Madrid that way in order to stop them, try and prevent them from hitting it the other way to where they have their most dangerous man, Vinicius. And that's good. That's good tactically. That's sensible. That's the sort of work you do in the build-up to big games like this. That's the fine detail required to make sure that they can't get their key men in the game. We've seen very little of Karim Benzema. He's only been coming in short to receive the ball. Hardly had a kick at the top of the field.
Liverpool able to bring the ball forward again with Konate, who's inside the Real Madrid penalty area now. Salah gets his head on the cross, which came in, but he couldn't direct it either side of Courtois. It was a lovely ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who checked back the wrong way onto his left foot, swung it in beautifully, and Salah's header right down the middle of the goal and comfortably saved.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Liverpool. Apart from that Sadio Mane shot, which was superbly dealt with by Thibaut Courtois, everything else has been pretty much at him.
8 attempts now without reply in Liverpool's favour, but 0-0 in terms of the scoreline. Eder Militao bringing the ball forward again. Thiago coming across to put the pressure on. He's the only man in this Liverpool team, in the starting 11 tonight anyway, who's ever beaten Real Madrid. Will another 11 be able to lay claim to that by the end of the night? Salah chasing, goes out of play for a throw that is quickly taken by Alaba to find Mendy. And now Kroos will bring the ball forward again. Toni Kroos making his 365th appearance for Real Madrid. Luka Modric some way ahead of that. Karim Benzema miles ahead of it. He's making his 605th tonight. On the verge of more records. Another goal for him tonight would see him move up into the top 3 on his own in terms of the all-time goal scorers in the Champions League for Real. Here's Vinicius now, almost able just to ghost his way in past Konate, and the first corner of the night is conceded by Henderson, and it was a vital touch, almost able to deceive Konate. Ball then played in, little header, slightly misdirected, and a little bit of pinball inside the box, but it ends up in the hands of Alisson, and his first thought is to punt it out quickly, but Luis Diaz will try and control it. Real had the bodies back, and Luis Diaz was wrestled to the ground by one of them, Carvajal. will be spoken to here by Clement Turpin. It's a free kick to Liverpool.
Well, it's all happening. It's really, the pace of the game has kicked on significantly again. Just saw moments ago Valverde down the right side, a massive 50-yard diag right out to Vinicius. Again, that's the only way I can see at the moment where Real Madrid come alive. Down their right side, I think Liverpool can deal with it. Of course, they've got that fluid system tonight, the Reds, where they're allowing Trent to just go forward and join in, and he's been very effective. They've just got to make sure they try and deal with that when they lose possession. In that turnover, they've got to switch on very, very quickly.
Robertson takes this free kick, finds Jordan Henderson, right-footed, lofted ball, not into the fray, but out towards Robertson instead. Luis Diaz then takes over. Thiago picks up the loose ball in the midfield, and Henderson, not taking any chances, goes all the way back for Alisson. Alisson's 20 yards outside his penalty area. He will punt a long ball forward, straight through the middle. It looks as though Luis Diaz was clearly just barged to the ground there by Eder Militao. He didn't really complain about it. And the ball goes through for Thibaut Courtois, is allowed to continue by the French referee. And Eder Militao has it again. It's 0-0 with 7.5 minutes to go to half-time here on TalkSport with Jim Proudfoot alongside Andy Townsend.
Yeah, I think Carlo Ancelotti will be pleased, relieved that they got to that half an hour mark without conceding. His own team hadn't really produced much in terms of an attacking threat, but Liverpool most certainly had, but they've weathered it, they've got through it. Now we'll see if they can develop as an attacking force.
First mistake of the night by Konate. Trent Alexander-Arnold then comes back and can't deal with Vinicius. Clever back heel flick from him. Here's Karim Benzema now on the edge of the penalty area. Back for Toni Kroos. Modric wanted it. Kroos thought he couldn't squeeze it through for him. Goes back for Carvajal, who rifles it forward. Modric climbing over the back of Luis Diaz. Mistimed his jump. Diaz brings it away. Little nutmeg of Carvajal. Now he'll take him on for pace, but the Spanish fullback did really well to come back and cover. Although a brisk, slightly misdirected back pass kept Courtois honest. But he is going to be able to get it under control and get it clear.
Yeah, that was a good foot race, wasn't it, there between Luis Diaz and Dani Carvajal, and credit the Madrid defender. He got back and got his body in well to protect the ball and just wrestle possession back.
But more live football coming your way tomorrow. The £200 million game. Huddersfield against Nottingham Forest, the Championship playoff final, live from Wembley on TalkSport with Sam Matterface, David Connolly and Ian Holloway talking you through the action. It's a 4:30 kickoff tomorrow on TalkSport. Who'll be in the Premier League? It'll be Forest for the first time in a generation. 23 years they've waited. Or will it be Huddersfield back after just a brief sojourn back down in the Championship? Here's Fabinho, lovely turn from here. He did brilliantly to keep his feet and keep possession. Then he plays it back for Henderson. Henderson out towards the Liverpool right-hand side for Salah. And Henderson immediately makes a run to offer Salah a ball and some width over on that right-hand touchline. Henderson then works it forward into Mendy, and it goes out of play for a Liverpool throw.
Yeah, really good play again. Nice, steady, calm possession from Liverpool in Real Madrid territory. Sadio Mane has the ball right now. They're about 35-40 yards from goal with Thiago.
And he plays it down towards the left-hand side for Robertson. Robertson driving inside the penalty area. Mane from a very tight angle wins the corner. Eder Militao forced to get the block in as the ball was running away from Mane. It was all too easy for Robertson to play him in, and Liverpool get their first corner.
Yeah, clever ball there. Andy Robertson in the 18-yard box, rolls it into Sadio Mane right on the corner of the 6-yard box, turns to try and get it on his left foot towards the byline. Militao just does enough to recover. Liverpool corner.
40 minutes gone. It's 0-0. Andy Robertson raises his right arm above his head, swings it in, left-footed in towards the near post, headed away by Benzema. Henderson through a crowd, but wide. Boy, did he strike that sweetly, but he was a couple of yards wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, hits it sweet there, Jordan Henderson. Yeah, it's well wide of the target, but he struck it. Did the right thing as well. I think in that sort of situation, when you're in control of it and you can make sure you get over the top of the ball, why not have a shot?
Jordan Henderson has scored in the Champions League this season. His only goal in the competition in the last 7.5 years, but it was a rasper against Milan. Thiago, Fabinho, now Van Dijk, 4 minutes to go to half-time. Robertson back for Thiago. Will play it now out towards the right-hand side for Trent Alexander-Arnold. His ball forward is comfortably dealt with by Casemiro, and then Kroos mops up and goes back for Thibaut Courtois. Has been the Real Madrid hero in the opening 45 minutes. And not just tonight as well. He's had the heavy involvement in this Champions League run. He saved the Lionel Messi penalty in the first leg against PSG, one of 3 ties that Real Madrid somehow managed to rescue themselves from a seemingly impossible position. Free kick to Real Madrid now over on the left-hand touchline, but they're still inside their own half after Konate just dived in on Vinicius.
Yeah, when Liverpool gets set, Jim, they've got a really good shape and they're able to reasonably competently cope with just that main threat of Vinicius' pace through Konate. Can see very much why, after a slightly edgy performance against Wolves at the weekend, absolutely see why Jurgen Klopp has selected him tonight, because of his presence, his power and his running ability. He can go shoulder to shoulder with anybody. We've seen it a couple of times already, but I think the way he stepped out from that position alongside Van Dijk and then almost into a right back position, he's done it very well.
Yeah, he said that playing in a Champions League final in his hometown would be the best day of his life. He then added, I've not had children yet, and I suppose that might run it close. I'm paraphrasing now, but the best day of my life. Long ball forward, Benzema trying to bring him down, checks back inside, sits Alisson down. Oh, Alisson's lost it with his left foot. Benzema, 1-0 Real Madrid, but the offside flag is up, and Liverpool survive.
See that? There's a passage of play there that's followed that offside, which immediately I wondered how Benzema had got in. Tell you what, it's a close call. It's a pretty close call. They're a little bit flat-footed and square there, that Liverpool back line. And then it originally came to Benzema, tried to shuffle back onto his left foot to sit Alisson down. He certainly got past Andy Robertson, and it looked like the goalkeeper was going to grab it, and then it got away from him, and Benzema ends up sweeping it into the net, and then the flag goes up.
Well, they're checking it. It's really close.
It is.
And Jurgen Klopp just turns away. I think he might be anticipating that this could stand. There were real problems inside that penalty area as it came down. Alisson got a hand to it, then Konate got his right foot to it, and Alisson, it then came off his thigh. Then as it's worked forward, Benzema is offside. Seeing the replay, it's not the initial one, it's the next phase of play.
Yeah.
And there's one defender between him and the goal.
Correct.
But there's only one. Now they will be having a look to see who it was that touched it into Benzema's path. They're also, as well as looking to see if there was a foul by an attacking player, they are now checking the offside leading up to the goal.
What we couldn't tell, Jim, there was obviously a coming together when the ball finally just sort of popped out towards Benzema, who then swept it in the net. We don't know if that come off of a white shirt or a red shirt. We really don't know from the angles we've just seen. So it's being checked on a number of fronts here.
Well, if he came off a white shirt, he has to be offside, because
of course he does.
The goalkeeper is the wrong side of him, if you see what I mean. And from that point of view, although there's a defender between him and goal,
there's a little flurry of activity here right now. We're just about to see who does this come off there.
Well, Fabinho slides in. Whether it hits Valverde, whether Valverde deliberately plays it, that's what they're going to be trying to ascertain. And you can see from how long it is taking to work it out just how marginal it is. So the angle that we're seeing now has come off the right knee of Alisson. Well, it's played for by Valverde, but it is Fabinho's touch that takes it into Benzema's path. And this could stand.
It could stand. But Valverde, was he just trying to pinch that ball? Was he trying to find his teammate before Fabinho comes sliding in? It definitely comes off the red shirt, which technically would play Benzema onside. But Valverde also just touched that a split second before him. So it's such a difficult call, this one. As tough a one as I've seen, I think, all season.
Well, Valverde is just trying to get something on it. Has he deliberately played it in towards Karim Benzema? I think he was trying to poke it towards goal. The pass certainly wouldn't have got there. towards Benzema. It was Fabinho's touch that steered it in, and it doesn't count.
Yeah.
The offside decision is upheld, and it is a free kick to Liverpool, and it stays 0-0.
Wow, what a close call that is. That is so difficult, that. And it needs to take time, I'm afraid, that does. I mean, people say, well, can't we have that a little bit quicker? There's about 3 or 4 situations there in that one moment.
And now Alisson races towards the edge of his own penalty area under pressure from Benzema. And he's really been heavily involved in this role as a sweeper keeper coming out. Some of his decision making, very easy to say from here, has maybe not quite been right.
The ball was knocked back to Alisson there on the edge of the 18-yard box. Benzema went after him straight away just to work that first touch, test that first touch. It was a little bit clumsy, and in the end he has to scoop it wide and away from the goal from danger. But they've got better, Real Madrid, since about the half an hour mark, as I mentioned. They've had a little bit more of the ball. They've got players further up the field, and in the last 5 minutes they very nearly took the lead.
Well, we're in stoppage time at the end of the first half, and the TV monitors say 3 additional minutes. 2 additional minutes was announced to the crowd. We've played 2, so probably about 40 seconds or so to go now. Here's Alexander-Arnold trying to get it in. Kroos is there to knock it away. Now Benzema. Lovely turn from Benzema in the midfield. Vinicius would have been offside and he got it over the top to him. Thiago's in there battling. He's able to play it back. Robertson happy just to volley it upfield. Again, it takes a slightly erratic bounce towards the edge of the penalty area, but Eder Militao can mop up for Real Madrid and find Mendy. And Mendy will be able to bring it away and find Casemiro. Now he plays it out towards the left-hand side. Vinicius trying to take on Alexander-Arnold. Vinicius goes to ground. Alexander-Arnold emerges with the ball.
Great.
The referee says play on.
Oh, that's so sloppy. Thiago giving the ball away there.
Very cheaply, but Konate is on the end of Real's ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and the half-time whistle blows. Well, that was a first half full of incident, no goals, lots of chances. Great effort from Sadio Mane, brilliantly tipped onto the post by Thibaut Courtois before the one controversial moment right at the end of the half. Benzema getting the ball into the net after a real scramble inside the penalty area, but the offside flag came up, and after a lengthy VAR check, the officials upheld the original decision, and it is 0-0 at half-time. Adrian, thank you. We're just about to get underway for the second period. Both sets of players are out. Real Madrid in their pristine white kit, Liverpool in their red, looking resplendent as they stand away to our left, attacking the end of the ground that houses the Liverpool supporters. And it's Real Madrid that get the second half underway. No changes in personnel, although James Milner had quite a strenuous half-time warm-up for Liverpool. I'll run through the 2 teams for you in a moment as Luka Modric in possession for Real Madrid. Plays it back inside his own half, and it goes all the way back for Thibaut Courtois. Made one wonderful save to deny Sadio Mane in that first period with an effort that he tipped onto the post, which could easily have come back off the frame of the goal and hit Courtois and gone in. It didn't, and it remains 0-0. Benzema trying to get involved. Man had the ball in the net, only for a lengthy VAR call to uphold the original on-field decision of offside against him. And that's played forward here by Robertson, but he hasn't found his man. And Real can bring it back. Carvajal to Benzema. Out towards the Real Madrid right-hand side now for Valverde. The Uruguayan back inside his own half for Eder Militao. To Alaba. The Austrian poking it forward for Toni Kroos. Back for Alaba again. And now Eder Militao will go back to his goalkeeper. Minute into the second half, it's still 0-0, and here's Andy Townsend.
Yeah, better start to the second half actually from Real Madrid. I think they'll be buoyed by the way they finished the first, due to that VAR decision, so marginal, just slightly going against them.
Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold scooping it inside the penalty area. It was Diaz that came to attack it. Carvajal just got there first. And had he not done so, then Diaz surely would have scored with a flying header, and it would have been 1-0 to Liverpool. But it remains 0-0, and Real are able to bring it away. But that was an excellent ball in from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's now back in defensive duty. And faced up by Vinicius, who makes his way forward. Benzema trying to steer it back. Konate read it. And now Alexander-Arnold can get it forward through the midfield into the feet of Mane. Fabinho finding Robertson. And Liverpool will be able to bring it away.
Yeah. Great start to the second half. Brilliant ball in just moments ago from Trent. Again, very nearly finding Luis Diaz on the far side.
This time he hits the long diagonal, looking for Sadio Mane and can't find him. And it's Luka Modric who has the opportunity to try and turn the Liverpool back line. He's found Vinicius down by the corner flag. He's played it back towards Karim Benzema. Benzema on the corner of the penalty area. Back out towards Kroos. Vinicius. Benzema. Kroos again. Mendy. 15 outside the box. Real Madrid with Casemiro. Left-footed ball. Played out towards the right-hand side. Carvajal was waiting. Diaz just flicked it away from him, but not to safety. And Thiago chasing. Can't get on the end of a ball between Eder Militao and Modric. And Real Madrid have it at the back with Alaba, but he's forced after Mane's pressure to go all the way back for Thibaut Courtois.
Better spell of possession from Madrid. They look more comfortable with the ball for the first time, I think, in the entire game right now. At the moment it's deep in their own territory, no threat to Liverpool, but they are starting to find their passes as they move forward.
Thiago doing well, just ducks his head in, is able to play it back. Salah making a run through the middle, and he might yet get there. He does, but he's on the right hand side of the penalty area when he controls it. He's got Mendy to try and beat. Works it inside the area looking for Mane. Half cleared. Mane does well. Wins it back. No foul on Casemiro. Played in towards Diaz. Diaz trying to ride the challenge on the edge of the box. Couldn't get a shot in. Real will be able to bring it away. And now Casemiro coming back. Trent is in there and just eased him to the ground. And it's a free kick to Real Madrid inside the centre circle.
Well, Casemiro, as I've mentioned, is never going to run away from anybody. He's up against Trent there, and the Liverpool man is fighting, tussling with him to just try and get a foot in before Casemiro rolls it to his left out to Vinicius. And of course, as the game becomes more stretched, then it's going to be that little bit more difficult for Liverpool to deal with Vinicius, who's had the odd moment in the game, but not a tremendous amount of it. But already in the second half, there are signs very much that the intent from Real Madrid is to be a little bit more on the front foot, is to squeeze to the halfway line a bit more themselves, have more possession in Liverpool territory, and then try and get their flying winger involved. So again, the longer the game goes on, the more difficult that becomes for Liverpool to get tight with him. Trent
has tonight become the youngest player ever to start 3 Champions League finals, breaking Thomas Muller's record. Luka Modric has it. He's played forward towards Casemiro. It's come off Fabinho, who's just leant over his compatriot. Alaba turns it over the top, but Van Dijk can watch it sail over his shoulder and into the hands of Alisson away to our left-hand side. Liverpool beaten by Real Madrid in the quarterfinals last season, and looking for revenge for that, looking for revenge for Kiev in 2018. Trent saying before the game that revenge was successfully executed the following season when they won in 2019 in Madrid. But Atletico's home, beating Tottenham by 2-0, a match in which they had the lead inside the second minute and held on all the way through. Ball's gone out of play for a throw that Real Madrid take. Work it back for Thibaut Courtois. And now Courtois inside his own penalty area. Just chips it down to the left-hand side. Looking for Mendy, but he's misplaced his pass and goes out for a throw that will be taken by Alexander-Arnold on halfway for Liverpool. It's 0-0, 6 minutes gone in the second half.
Yep, neither goalkeeper really tested yet in this second period, but the game a bit more evenly balanced now in terms of possession. Liverpool dominated for 20-25 minutes, had those great chances, very unlucky through Sadio Mane, brilliant stop from the Real Madrid goalkeeper. But I think the game now is a little more evenly contested. It's going to be about who can provide that bit of magic, that very special pass that just might get somebody in to make the difference.
In terms of possession, Real Madrid are now shading it, 56-44, and Salah brings it forward, just couldn't quite get the trajectory right on the cross, and it loops into the hands of Thibaut Courtois. Modric has it, Benzema with a lovely layoff. To his right is Casemiro. To his right is Valverde, who then will continue his run forward. Casemiro trying to chip it over the top for him for the return ball, and he's done well to get there, and he turns away from Robertson, feeds Benzema on the edge of the penalty area. Modric, back for Valverde. Carvajal is involved, back on his feet. Thiago comes in as he won it back. Diaz keeping it in. They've on that far touchline, and they've extricated themselves from a really tight corridor over on that far side. Quite beautifully.
Fantastic work from Luis Diaz. Going with Dani Carvajal, who had been pouring forward second half. He matched him stride for stride and dealt with it. And again, a couple of stray passes from Liverpool to start this second half. Thiago there with a 40-yarder trying to find Luis Diaz well off target and handing the ball back. It's going to become precious, the ball, as this game goes on. You want it, you don't want to be chasing after it.
It's a Liverpool side that have only lost 3 of their last 71 games in all competitions, which is simply extraordinary run, and even one of those, by the time the full-time whistle went, was completely academic, because it was a second leg home defeat to Inter Milan in this competition, where they still went through on aggregate. They'll work it forward now, the Reds, out towards Luis Diaz, faced up by Modric, but he's got a chance to run him inside the penalty area. Modric did well to hold him up. Play back for Mane, whose left-footed shot was blocked. Now it comes out for Alexander-Arnold, his right-footed shot blocked by Casemiro on the edge of the area, and Trent did really well to come back and regain possession, win it back, turn it forward, and get Henderson into a position that he could really influence proceedings. Alexander-Arnold again. Mane makes a darting run inside the penalty area, but the ball is worked square to the left-hand side for Thiago. Now Luis Diaz is going to be able to pick it up. This is all about 10 yards outside the penalty area. The south stand away to our right-hand side, now a sea of red. Those Liverpool supporters urging their side on. High ball, play down towards Trent Alexander-Arnold on the Liverpool right. Back from him to Henderson. Back for Trent Alexander-Arnold again. Right-footed delivery. Courtois came out. I think he was headed away from his path. Robertson tries to coax it back in, but it will bounce, and Mendy watches it over the line. Out of play. Goal kick to Real Madrid. 9 gone second half at 0-0.
Again, Liverpool's most dangerous player with the ball is their right back, right midfielder, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Every time he gets it and he's got a bit of time, he's got such great quality and great feel for that delivery off that side, and that's what it's about. You don't always have to look for people, you haven't got to chip it on someone's head perfectly, but you've got to have a feel for that kind of delivery, the one that tempts strikers to go for it and get in there after it. 2 or 3 times already tonight we've seen that. Lovely pass from him there just now, very nearly able to get on the end of it.
Eder Militao chipped the ball down towards the touchline, back it came. He then ends up going to ground, holding his face. My initial reaction without having seen a replay, and I do stand to be corrected, was that he bought that. The replay might show differently, but he's gone down holding his face. The Liverpool players surround the referee, Clement Turpin. They feel as though it's a very soft free kick that's been given to Real Madrid in their own right-back position when Liverpool had the ball only about 10-15 yards outside the box. Militao was down and out of the picture. It was a really good opportunity for Liverpool to make something of it. Now we're seeing the replay. Luis Diaz was scrapping with him, and Militao has gone down and has smacked the side of his face on the ground, but it's certainly no foul by Luis Diaz.
No foul at all, Jim. He's okay, don't worry about that. He's fallen to the ground, and of course that was a good spell of pressure from Liverpool. With all the new protocols that are in the game nowadays, of course the referees have to stop the game and people have to come on if ever there's any indication of a head injury. But what it also does do, I'm afraid it does allow certain players to want to make the most of a scenario just to take the sting out of a game. And I think you're seeing exactly that from Eder Militao right there.
Well, he's okay. He's back on his feet. Play will restart with this free kick to Real Madrid. No problem at all with the game stopping with the way that he hit the ground, in fairness, but I think it should be a drop ball to restart play. It shouldn't have been a free kick because there's no infringement there. But it is what it is. Courtois is going to take it. We're 11 minutes into the second half on TalkSport, and it's still 0-0. Van Dijk heads the ball away. The offside flag is up, and it's a free kick to be taken by Liverpool. We're listening to Liverpool against Real Madrid in the Champions League final. It's live on TalkSport with Heycar. Buy a quality Czech used car with a 10-day money-back guarantee. Search Heycar to find yours. Mendy plays it through the midfield, cross back for Eder Militao. He chips it forward, should be easily headed away by Canate. It is. He only actually just got it past Benzema, but Salah came back to meet the ball. He feeds Fabinho. Mane able to take the ball in a central position on the half turn, 20 outside the penalty area. Now to Henderson and out towards Salah again. Salah to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold for Salah, didn't get hold of the left-footed shot. He did the second one. Big appeals for handball.
It's going to be checked.
But initially the ball goes out of play for a throw to Real Madrid, and there aren't that many complaints from the Liverpool players, and no sign as yet that it is being checked.
It did hit David Alaba on the hand, but he knew nothing about it. His hands were well tucked in. It was good play that from Liverpool. That's Mo Salah when he's at his most dangerous, when he's flying in off the right side onto that left foot, bouncing it into a teammate, then getting it back and trying to get his shot away. We've seen him do that so often.
Dislocated his shoulder early on in the game against Real in 2018 after intervention, let's say, from Sergio Ramos. He feels that there's a score to settle today. Was Mo Salah, who's only scored in 2 of his last 15 games coming into tonight. Real on the front foot. Valverde across the face of goal, and it's steered in by Vinicius, who found some space at the far post. And it's one perceptive, potent cross. Liverpool switched off at the back. Vinicius sweeps it in, and Real Madrid lead Liverpool by a goal to nil. And it's come from the avenue that every Liverpool fan feared.
Yeah, it has. I think you can argue that Trent Alexander-Arnold might have just switched off a little bit at the far post. However, it's Dani Carvajal on the other side, the right back, who steps in field. It's not, I'm just seeing, is that offside him? It's close. It's Valverde who has a shot, and it flashes across the 6-yard box, and it's tucked in by Vinicius at the back post. And in all fairness to Trent, he perhaps should have switched on a bit quicker. However, that was a shot that flew across the 6-yard box. He was going out for a throw-in virtually before Vinicius tucks it in. He stayed alive, as is often the case in the box. Those forwards gamble and defenders sometimes get caught on their heels, and that's what's happened there.
It's taken Real Madrid 59 minutes to have a shot on target, but when it's come, it has gone in. It's the 50th goal of his career. It's one he'll never forget. He scored in a Champions League final, and Real Madrid lead Liverpool by a goal to nil. But Liverpool, no strangers to having to come from behind in recent weeks, of which more in a moment as Salah tries to poke it forward, but he couldn't find Mane. In the last 5 matches in the Premier League and Champions League, Liverpool have gone 1-0 down. And in those games, they've had an excellent record being able to turn it back. They've won 4 of them and drawn the other one. But they've got to try and do it the hard way again here. Vinicius plays it forward for Benzema. Liverpool trailing by a goal to nil.
Yeah, mustn't panic. Keep your discipline now. Keep a cool head. The atmosphere in here is hot. It is really pumped. As you can imagine, that's the Real Madrid fans you're hearing in the background right now. White shirts and flags and scarves being waved everywhere. So the Liverpool players must make sure they keep their heads, stay nice and cool, composed. They got plenty of time to get back into this tie.
There's white smoke emanating from that end of the ground. Flags being waved, as Andy says. Challenger. As one comes in the midfield, Liverpool get a free kick. Fabinho is the player that was brought down. It's taken by Thiago, finding Fabinho and work back towards Canate. A test of mettle and resolve here as far as Liverpool are concerned. Trailing to that Vinicius goal, his 22nd of the season and his 4th in this competition. Van Dijk brings it forward. Diaz trying to turn his man. Carvajal a little bit too tight, and it was easy for him to get it away. Fabinho then comes in, and he's going to receive the first yellow card of the night. That was a challenge of retribution. He himself had been fouled about a minute or so ago, and he's just got some revenge.
Yep, he was bundled to the ground, you're quite right, by Vinicius a few moments ago, and he was amazed that Vinicius didn't receive a yellow card. I think again there he's clattered into Valverde, who's actually becoming quite a prominent player on the night. Valverde's working exceptionally hard for his team down the right side, doubling up with Dani Carvajal when they've got to deal with Diaz. But at the moment it's not sticking up front for Liverpool. The front three aren't really firing. When it goes into Salah, it's a little bit hit and miss. Luis Diaz has really found it difficult to get beyond Dani Carvajal so far, and therefore Sadio Mane just looks a little bit isolated.
Yeah, Liverpool haven't had a fantastic opportunity since Mane's effort was tipped onto the post, and that was more than half an hour ago now. Here's Real Madrid bring it forward with Modric. They lead by a goal nil in the 2022 Champions League final here in Saint-Denis in Paris. Ball is with Luka Modric. Real with this extraordinary record in the Champions League and European Cup finals. They've won each of their last 7, but only been beaten in 3 of the 16 in which they've played in their illustrious history, and they're half an hour away from winning this competition for a 14th time, but still half an hour for Liverpool to find a response.
Yeah, looking at the Liverpool subs that are out there, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is flying up and down, as is James Milner. Of course now the Thiago situation, if there was a doubt, which clearly there was, then that might be one that Jurgen Klopp wants to exercise pretty quickly. Can't wait, can't delay too long now, you've got to make calls, and they've got to be effective ones.
Fabinho for Luis Diaz, who slides in, works it back through the midfield for Henderson. Liverpool chasing the game. Salah onto his left foot. Mo Salah, good save, diving away to his right hand side. Courtois beats it away, goes down, hits the corner flag, goes out for a throw.
Brilliant save again from Thibaut Courtois, but that's much better from Mo Salah. Picking it up in that wide right position, stepping in on the left foot, trying to curl it right into that far corner. It's actually going in, but the goalkeeper's right there and throws his right hand out to make a really big save.
Diogo Jota's going to be on for Liverpool at the next break in play. Van Dijk, play forward. Diaz, Fabinho back for Virgil van Dijk. Be interesting to see which of the front three makes way for Jota.
Might be a midfielder, Jim. Might be. You know, in this situation now, Klopp might feel he's got to have everything out there, but we'll see.
Fabinho with a lovely ball forward. Salah with a great take and then try to drag it in past Vinicius, who's caught him. Got sandwiched between Vinicius and Ferland Mendy, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. Are they going to make the change now?
Yeah, they are, because he's so good in the air, Diogo Jota. They want to get him on.
And it's Diaz.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Luis Diaz has worked hard, he's tried hard without ever really looking like he can threaten Dani Carvajal, who's dealt with him very, very effectively. It's just not quite been there tonight for Luis Diaz.
Well, Diaz made a sensational impression off the bench in the most recent Champions League game that Liverpool played at Villarreal. Now can Jota emulate that as he comes on to replace him with 25 minutes to go? Liverpool trailing 1-0, but they have a free kick in a really good position. It's midway between the right-hand side of the penalty area and the touchline, and it is 14 yards from the dead ball line. Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, unsurprisingly the two standing over it. Robertson swinging in left-footed, looking for the little flick header at the near post that didn't come. Salah then almost sold Henderson short, and Modric came close to being able to clatter it upfield. Liverpool maintained possession and work it wide. Mane swinging it in. Konate was up there but couldn't get his head to it. Salah then works it back. Looked a little bit risky, but is helped back forward. And then taking a defensive header goes back to Courtois, who will throw himself on the ball. And there's just over a quarter of the game remaining, with Liverpool needing to find an equaliser.
They are indeed. Well, they've got Diogo Jota on there. He's gone in that wide left sort of position where Luis Diaz was. Sadio Mane still up the middle. Jota's got to try and get himself in that box when it's coming off this right-hand side, which has kind of been their most productive, Liverpool, tonight.
Here's Vinicius, scorer of the goal. Alexander-Arnold coming back and winning it back. Vinicius, who scored 2 against Liverpool in the quarterfinals last season, on target against them again today. Salah is pulled Kroos back there. He nudged the ball one side of him, tried to run the other. Kroos surreptitiously stepped across his line. Salah made contact with his arm and hauled him to the ground, and the award of a free kick Real Madrid's way is the correct decision, I think. It's a free kick that they will take, and they'll be in no hurry to take it. And we're in the 67th minute at 1-0 to the Spanish champions.
Yep. So Liverpool have played one of their cards, haven't they, with regards to Diogo Jota. And in order to get back into a game like this, a tie like this, you've got to attach some risk towards it. Players are going to commit in front of the ball, ahead of the ball, which then can leave them exposed a little bit. That's the chance you have to take.
Robertson plays it forward. Jota's going to give chase. And has he conceded a free kick? No, he hasn't. It's a corner. It was really good play. He went shoulder to shoulder with Eder Militao, who's much taller. But he stood his ground, Jota. Militao went to ground. The referee said no foul. And it's a corner to Liverpool, which is their first in this second half.
Militao looking there for something that's not there. He could have dealt with that situation. As it is, Liverpool now have a chance to whip something in towards Van Dijk and Konate.
Robertson takes it, looking for Jota. The near post, Carvajal heads it away. Henderson gets on the end of his header, and then it's steered by Thiago back out towards Robertson. Jota tries to drag it back inside and wins another corner.
Got to be better delivery from Andy Robertson. That one there that's come in is too flat. What's happening is Konate, Van Dijk and Fabinho are all above the penalty spot. They're all loitering there. Give them a chance. You haven't got to whip it in at 300 mile an hour. Just clip it up there. Let those guys get after it.
Liverpool numbers 3, 4 and 5 all attacking it. Konate got his head to it. It's gone high up in the air. Fabinho then able to steer it back in, but Salah couldn't get there. Real will be able to clear it. Alexander-Arnold jostling. He's got to make sure that he doesn't lose that to Vinicius, and he doesn't. Henderson does well. Clips it forward for Salah. Right on side of the area. Henderson swinging a high ball in towards the far post. Heading back across the face of goal, and Salah coming in the far post, almost on the dead ball line. Couldn't get the angle to steer it towards goal, and Courtois had that near post covered.
Unlucky. Clever deep pass from Jordan Henderson to the back post, where Jota rose majestically, headed it right back across the goal. And Mo Salah so close to poking in at the far post.
So now the game's going to become stretched. Real Madrid on the front foot themselves. Konate's got to deal with the cross that comes in from the right from Valverde, but he can. Liverpool will bring it away. They trail 1-0. We've got 21 minutes to go. Thiago down towards Alexander-Arnold. Salah is ahead of him, and Mo Salah is played in. Salah cutting in field onto his left foot, going for the return ball, almost caught by Alaba. He wasn't, and Carvajal brings it away. Benzema then lays it back, chipped over the top for Carvajal's run. Robertson has tracked him every step of the way. Benzema calmly brings things back under control. Real try and win a throw by poking it in towards Thiago, but they got the angles wrong, and Henderson emerges with the ball at his feet through the heart of the midfield. Alexander-Arnold swinging another ball in. Mane had made a near post run, cross went to the far, out of play for a goal kick. 20 minutes for Liverpool to find an equaliser. They trail 1-0.
Yeah, Diogo Jota there, just take a chance. I mean, it wasn't the best ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold from that right side position. It was a little too high and too heavy, but just get in there after it. Jota's standing on the edge of the 18-yard box. You're not going to do anything from there. Take a chance, gamble. Something might drop for you. So it might, who knows, come off a defender. He might be unsure of where he is. He heads it down. You've got a chance to go and equalise.
Real have only kept 2 clean sheets in their last 20 matches in the Champions League knockout stages. They are a team that you can get at. Conceded more goals than Liverpool over the course of this season in Europe and domestically as well. But Liverpool, for all the fact that they had 16 shots to 2, trail this 1-0.
Yeah, and that's typical of this Madrid team. They just somehow seem to get it done and find a way.
Modric for Vinicius. Vinicius onto his right foot. Good challenge, Konate.
Brilliant.
Coutinho pokes it away. Just open up for Vinicius, and Konate timed it to perfection. Henderson now has it in the midfield. Thiago now for Sadio Mane. He's able to bring the ball forward. 19 minutes to go. Mane, well challenged by Casemiro, but Liverpool get a throw, level with the edge of the Real Madrid penalty area, and Trent will come forward to take it.
That's good defensive work, that, from Casemiro. Moments ago we saw a brilliant bit of work from Konate, matched Vinicius stride for stride, yard for yard, and got a brilliant interception on the edge of the box.
Jota just oblivious to the fact that pressure was coming in immediately on him. Liverpool do then win it back, but Van Dijk is barreled into Benzema. He helps him back to his feet. but it's a free kick to Real Madrid inside their own half.
And what they'll do, Jim, every chance now, and I don't blame them, by the way, at all, every chance you get, someone bumps into you, you hit the floor. You go down, you take the free kick, you give yourselves a chance to organise, just to regroup. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So Liverpool have got to try and not only take some risks, but they've got to pinch the ball as much as trying to win it well.
Over the top for Vinicius, Alisson came out, and had he just been able to get his right foot to that, he'd have been able to ease it over the goalkeeper, but he didn't. Alisson came out and gathered, and it remains 1-0 to Real Madrid.
It was a big chance, that, you know, great pass knocked forward to Vinicius, but he was totally unmarked, and Alisson came out and just grabbed it just before Vinicius gets a touch on the ball.
Jota from Thiago's pass. Back for Fabinho, now to Virgil van Dijk. Everybody for Real Madrid is back within 15 yards of the edge of their own penalty area. Benzema just makes his way forward now, but very much is 11 behind the ball. Robertson finding Fabinho here. Now down towards Canate. Liverpool trailing here on TalkSport. Alexander-Arnold, sliding challenge was well timed by Mendy. He was an exuberant one, let's say, and an angry reaction from Alexander-Arnold. It was a fair challenge. Vinicius then squares up to him and nudges him with his shoulder. It was all very needless. Play will restart with a Liverpool throw. Taken by Alexander-Arnold into the feet of Sadio Mane. Henderson clipping it back. Mane with a touch. Could he have gone down maybe inside the penalty area? Looked as though contact was made. Stayed on his feet. Hooked back by Fabinho over his shoulder. Carvajal heads it away. Thiago going up for it. Robertson is there. Good turn by Jota. It's just taken one defender out of the picture. Still he goes. Played out towards Robertson. Robertson for Thiago. Thiago for Henderson. Alexander-Arnold, bottom right corner of the penalty area. Got it in between the legs of Mendy, but it's cleared. Henderson picks it up. Down for Mane. Mane to Alexander-Arnold. Right for the effort, going well wide. Jota threw himself at it and helped it further wide.
Good pressure again, good intent from Liverpool. The ball fell to Trent Alexander-Arnold, just off of centre. Probably about 22, 23 yards out. Strikes it nicely, but it's well wide of the goal. And looks like we're about to see a change, Jim, down below us. I think Naby Keita is coming on, which is exactly right. Got to keep the energy from the centre of midfield, where they can keep turning that ball over and trying to pour forward.
Well, he's just receiving his final instructions from Peter Krawiec. I mean, this has got to be Keita for Thiago, surely. The ball is played forward by Thibaut Courtois, knocked away by Robertson. It will be kept in on the Liverpool left-hand side by Jota. Well, it was initially, but he ran out of room, and it's a throw which Dani Carvajal is going to take. Over on the right-hand touchline. Liverpool, incidentally, have just issued this statement, and I quote, "We're hugely disappointed at the stadium entry issues and breakdown of the security perimeter that Liverpool fans face this evening at Stade de France. This is the greatest match in European football. Supporters should not have to experience the scenes we've witnessed tonight. We've officially requested a formal investigation into the causes of these unacceptable issues." That's a statement. We'll read it again later. An official statement from Liverpool Football Club tonight after the scenes earlier. Fans, remember, queuing for well over 2 hours to try and get in. Many didn't get in until well after the game had started, and their treatment by the police, from the videos that we've seen and reports, was not right. Ball in for Casemiro from a free kick, who inexplicably has squared it behind 3 runners. Pick any of them out, and that could have been 2-0 for Real Madrid in the Champions League. Here's Jota. Play forward towards Robertson. Robertson loses out to Modric, and Casemiro can play it forward. Firmino and Keita. A double change imminent. Ball over the top. Vinicius offside. And it's a free kick to Liverpool, and they can now make the changes.
Yeah, double change down below as Roberto Firmino is coming on as well. No surprises there. Time now to absolutely throw everything they've got at it, Liverpool. There's still plenty of time. You know, when you look up at the clock and you see 76, which is what we're seeing right now, plus stoppages, which will be, of course, have to be added for all these changes. We've got in excess, I would say, of 16, 17 minutes. That's a long time. That's a long time. Liverpool have got to keep believing they can find a way back into this.
Players off, Henderson and Thiago, replaced by Keita and Firmino.
Yeah, so Firmino will play off the front. He'll just play at the top of a little midfield position now, and that will just leave Keita and Fabinho to sit there and protect and anchor that middle of the park. But again, I think at this stage of the night, Jim, you're looking for players to have to step outside of what they normally do, what they should have done, or the game plan. You're starting to look for players to do something different. They've got to come up with something very special in order to find a way through, to penetrate this Real Madrid back line.
Well, Andy, you and I at Anfield at the weekend saw Liverpool score twice in the final 6 minutes. They have 13 minutes plus stoppage time here to score one, which will be a platform. Just take the game to extra time, and Liverpool will take that from here and then go again. Firmino lays it back. Here's Naby Keita making his way through the midfield into the feet of Roberto Firmino's well challenged by Alaba, but Keita picks up the seconds in towards Mane. He's done well. Alexander-Arnold drags it back towards the penalty spot. Off balance, Eder Militao similarly defended it really well, sliding in and affecting the block. And then Fabinho is involved with Vinicius, and the referee weighs Vinicius up. He says no foul.
He should have a card for that, Vinicius. It's a blatant dive there.
Firmino can bring it forward. He slips it to his left for Robertson. Clipped in looking for Salah, but it didn't get there, and Mendy volleys it away. It's 1-0 to Real Madrid. 78 gone on TalkSport. They've led for nearly 20 minutes. Firmino now. Left-footed effort from him. Blocked, goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, he's tried a speculative one there, right from the corner of the 18-yard box there, Firmino on his left foot. Again, no need to get too desperate just yet. I think still keep playing your football. Wait for the right moment before you deliver it in the box.
Jota lays it back for Keita. Kroos tries to get it away. Jota making his way forward. Firmino playing it in. Offside flag is up. It was steered away anyway for what would have been a corner, but flag is up. Free kick to Real Madrid.
Diogo Jota does great there. Turns on the edge of the box, gets a touch. Yeah, and it just looks like Firmino is so marginally offside. And that ball then fires across the 6-yard line. No red shirt on the end of it, to be honest with you, but better sign since the changes have been made that Liverpool still on the front foot.
Eder Militao was down injured again inside the penalty area. He's okay. He's back on his feet. 11 minutes to go. Real Madrid leading Liverpool by a goal to nil. It would be only the second time in their history they've done the League and European Cup double. Sorry, second time in the last 64 years they've done the League and European Cup double. They did it in 2017. 5 years on, they're 10 minutes away from doing it again. Well, Liverpool on the front foot here. Salah, Firmino, Salah, left-footed effort. Oh, Courtois able to poke it away. Salah with an effort, and Jota walking onto it, just toe-poked in the wrong foot, the goalkeeper, who reacted very quickly. Jota didn't get enough power on it, and Courtois could come back and punch it away from a position lying on the ground and out for a corner.
Yeah. Good play again from Liverpool, pressing hard, pushing hard, desperately trying to find a way back into this game.
Alexander-Arnold's corner in towards the near post. Went straight along the ground, but he didn't find a man. Liverpool win it back, out of play for a throw. Keita wants to take it quickly. And why is the referee stop play there? He did take it quickly into the feet of Alexander-Arnold. Don't think it was a foul throw. The referee's assistant had indicated it was a throw. If it's a foul throw, then it should be a throw to Real Madrid, but play will restart with a Liverpool throw.
I think what he was signalling there, Jim, when the throwing wasn't taken from the right position, but of course by stopping the game there, it denied Liverpool the chance to maybe counter from that throw-in situation. As it is now, all the white shirts are back behind the ball.
9 minutes to go. Firmino on the byline, pulls it back, edge of the penalty area. It's scooped way over the bar by Keita, and what a good opportunity that was.
But again, really good football from Liverpool. They get Firmino right to the byline, almost on the corner of the where the 6-yard line meets the byline. He cuts it back to Naby Keita on the edge of the box. He tries to go with the outside of his right boot and just skies it, sends it way over the top, harmlessly wide.
This the season in which Liverpool have broken their long-standing club record for the number of goals scored. 147. I don't need 147 to be their maximum this season. They just need one more. 8 minutes to find it, to take the game to extra time. Well, you sense that they will be able to create at least one clear-cut opening. They've had a stack of chances. 22-2 now.
Great touch.
Salah's got it. Salah! Good save.
What a save again that is.
And straight away, 3 Real Madrid players converge on Courtois and jump on him as if he's just scored the winning penalty in a shootout. That's tremendous goalkeeping. Threw a right arm towards the ball, kept the wrist strong and beat it away from the far post and the player coming in.
What a stop that is from Thibaut Courtois.
I mean, he's the man of the match. If Real Madrid win this, they'll be building statues for him. Ball comes inside the area from the latest corner and Valverde heads it away. Out as far as Keita. Keita for Liverpool to Bobby Firmino. Salah's got it now. Salah, Konate still forward. Try to coax it back into Salah's path. He's lost it, and all of a sudden it's 3 against 2. And now it's 3 against 1 because Keita's been beaten. And Real Madrid working wide for Benzema, and Vinicius can't get on the through ball. Alisson comes out and keeps Liverpool in it.
Brilliant goalkeeping from Alisson. Come flying out to deny Vinicius, literally just a yard above the penalty spot. Liverpool have it again. They're now back in Real Madrid territory. Here they come once more.
Salah can't get on the end of the through ball. It's chested down and Courtois will be able to pick it up. 7 to go.
You can't. That's going to happen now. Look, there's always going to be that opportunity that Real Madrid can break away. They did have a 3-on-2 there. They never quite executed it properly. But the save moments ago, I don't want to say it, but it felt like a match-winning save from Thibaut Courtois. It was such brilliant work from him because Mo Salah did wonderfully well to control a 50-yard pass with his right foot and then just knock it in front of him, and it looks like he's put it in the back of the net before Courtois makes a brilliant stop.
Well, UEFA have now issued a statement, of which more in a moment as Liverpool bring the ball forward. Jota has lost out. Camavinga's going to be coming on, and Real will work it forward as Liverpool have to commit more bodies forward, then always leave themselves increasingly prone to a counter-attack. Goes out of play. Real Madrid will make the change. This is the UEFA statement. In the lead up to the game, the turnstiles at the Liverpool end became blocked by thousands of fans who purchased fake tickets which did not work in the turnstiles. This created a build-up of fans trying to get in. As a result, the kickoff was delayed to allow as many fans as possible with genuine tickets to gain access. As numbers outside the stadium continue to build up after kickoff, the police dispersed them with tear gas and forced them away from the stadium. UEFA, sympathetic to those affected by these events, will further review these matters urgently together with the French police and authorities and with the French Football Federation. That's the UEFA statement. That makes no mention of fans arriving late at the ground. So we can only assume that that's an implicit admission from UEFA that there was misinformation being broadcast within the stadium on the big screens beforehand, where they said that the delay was because of the late arrival of supporters. That is not mentioned anywhere in UEFA's official statement tonight. It's going to run and run. But the bottom line is, as far as Liverpool are concerned, there's 5 minutes to go and they've got to score. They've got to find an equaliser here. So they've made one change. Camavinga on for Valverde. They'll be making another very shortly with Rodrigo poised to come on as well. Benzema playing the ball forward. It's knocked away by Liverpool to Jota. And Jota will play it out towards the Liverpool left, but Carvajal with a very well-timed challenge is able to bring it forward and knock it away.
He's played very well, Danny Carvajal. I think he dealt with Luis Diaz particularly well, and again he's always looking to get on the front foot and gallop forward. Different type of player to Trent, but equally as effective in his own way.
Camavinga goes back for Kroos. Kroos is given a little shove off the ball there by Sadio Mane. Time running out very quickly. 4 minutes to go. A goal on 59 minutes for Real Madrid, scored by Vinicius on the end of a Valverde ball. And Vinicius has it again, and he'll head it down into space, left-hand side of the penalty area, and cut inside the box, and back here it for Benzema, who couldn't twist past Trent Alexander-Arnold, who gets it away. And he fires it upfield, and Jota flicks it on intelligently, and Mane has it now. And Mane will come towards the edge of the penalty area here for Liverpool and run at Carvajal and try to play it in, but it's easily cut out by Casemiro. It was a poor ball, and there have been a number of times where Liverpool have squandered good opportunities with poor final deliveries inside the area.
Sadio Mane off that left side now. It's poor. Chance again now.
He's offside, Vinicius, as Modric played it, and he tried to bend his run, and Modric delayed, and he thought he played the pass when he was in an onside position, but the flag came up, and it's a free kick, but there are only 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Can you create one good chance? Can you take a little bit more care with that final ball?
Now Liverpool will bring it forward and win a corner. Can they get it right this time? It's the cue for Van Dijk to come forward, for Konate, Fabinho, already there. Alexander-Arnold sprints over to take it.
Just like to see a bit better movement, Jim, from the corner. You know, they're all stacking up, the big guys in and around the penalty spot. Get on the move, shift a little bit, disrupt those white shirts, move them around, and you just might create a pocket of space for someone.
Jota making a run in towards the near post, is swung in deeper, Konate going up for it, well claimed again by Courtois. His handling was exceptional, just got a little bang from Konate, who was perfectly entitled to go for that, but there was a collision between the Liverpool defender and the Real Madrid goalkeeper, and he's down in need of treatment.
Well, Konate doesn't do anything wrong there at all. It's good hands from Courtois again. He takes a little knock to the side of the head and just maximises the opportunity. I'm only being honest what I see. And Courtois there he's showing his elbow as if to say Konate done him with an elbow. He didn't. Absolutely did not. But of course what they're able to do in these moments now is just relieve all the pressure, take all the heat out of it. Again, they've made some changes, they can regroup. They're about to try and bring another one on, Jim. One if not two subs.
Yeah, Dani Ceballos, who's come off the bench in each of the last 4 Champions League ties, is poised to come on. Rodrigo has been stripped and ready for action for a while now, but he's made his way back towards the seats in the dugout. Ceballos is going to be the next man on, and that change will be made now as the ball goes out of play for a Liverpool throw.
Can Liverpool do to Madrid what they've done to so many others in this tournament this season? Can they find something from somewhere when it's perhaps not expected? They haven't got long. We're now entering into the last minute of normal time, plus whatever we get added on. Do we know yet, Jim, or not?
We don't know. My guess would be 4. Modric comes off. Ceballos is on to replace him. We'll find out in about 30 seconds' time. And the Real Madrid supporters beginning to cautiously celebrate away to our left-hand side. Can Liverpool do to Real Madrid what Real Madrid have done consistently to sides throughout this wonderful run that they've been on, where they believe that their destiny is to win the Champions League for a 14th time, and that their name is on it. Liverpool chasing, can't get past Camavinga. They will be able to get possession back with Keita. Fourth official shows 5 additional minutes, and we're in those 5 now. Keita bringing it forward into the feet of the edge of the area. Robertson trying to flick it on for Firmino, easily knocked away. Vinicius in trying to get it forward, just has an air shot at it. Alexander-Arnold can't get a touch either. Benzema, calm amidst the maelstrom in midfield, is able to stick his foot on the ball. Quick little 1-2 with Vinicius, now played forward. Vinicius would have been offside, but Ceballos isn't. Ceballos knocks it square, and it's deflected away towards the edge of the area, and eventually Liverpool poke it away, but it goes out for a corner to Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, Dani Ceballos, in all fairness to him, has only literally just come on the field. I think it's his first touch, and he was through completely, almost one-on-one with Alisson. And eventually Naby Keita managed to get back and get something on it and knock it out for a corner, but I don't think they're going to be in a hurry here, Real Madrid, to put this in the box. All the big guys are staying at the back. Militao, Alaba, Casemiro, they're all staying there. They got 5-6 back behind the ball. This is being played short, and they're going to just try and keep it in the corner.
Kroos and Benzema both stand over it. It is worked short. Benzema then works it back for Casemiro. Casemiro down towards the left-hand touchline. Little back heel flick, worked cleverly around the corner. Ceballos for Karim Benzema again. Benzema opening it up onto his right foot, sets it up and fired over the bar by Camavinga. Out of play for a goal kick. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time to go. They're going to be elongated because Real Madrid will now make another change. Rodrigo is the player that is going to be coming on here. Rodrigo for Vinicius, who will leave the field as the match winner, but will he still be the match winner in 3 minutes' time? The Liverpool supporters away to our right-hand side have the scarves above their head. The traditional end to the game, "You'll never walk alone," emanates out from those supporters away to our right. But it's going to be late and dramatic if Liverpool can salvage something here. 3 to go, and it's 1-0 to Real Madrid.
Van Dijk is now up the middle like a centre forward, waiting for the 40-yard punt. Here it comes from Robertson.
Van Dijk will go up for it, uses his body cleverly, helps it on. Salah trying to bring it down, bit of pinball. Half cleared, back from Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold, right-footed ball inside the penalty area for him. That one headed away by Carvajal. Feels as though it's not going to happen for Liverpool now. Robertson, twisting, trying to get away down the left-hand side. He's done brilliantly. Pulled back inside the area. Another good defensive header. That one steered away by Alaba. And he goes out towards the touchline, and Camavinga's able to drop his shoulder and cleverly find Kroos. Referee has to take evasive action. Kroos caught. Free kick to Real Madrid.
He's looking for the free kick every time, Toni Kroos now. Every time, almost initiating contact, I think. Knows he's running into people, then hits the floor, arms and legs going everywhere, gets a free kick. Just moments before, it just never quite dropped for Liverpool in the box. Casemiro, I've got to give him credit. He's played well tonight, protecting and sitting in front of their central defenders. He certainly has. He's worked very, very hard for his team tonight, but Liverpool can't be faulted for their effort. It's just not quite happened for them. They needed a score in that spell in the first half when they were very much on top, where they were absolutely the dominant team. Didn't quite find a way forward there, and second half it's just not fell and dropped to anybody where they just might be able to make the difference.
Alisson gets it forward. And he goes past everybody and straight out of play for a throw that'll be taken over on the far touchline, the Real Madrid right. 5 additional minutes and we've played 4 of them. Should be another 30 seconds added on top of that, but we are into the last knockings now. Liverpool need the ball first.
Got to get it back.
Now it's thrown forward and Benzema brings it down. Fabinho works it back. Alisson takes the touch. It's a heavy one. His second one gets it away from Ceballos. His third one finds Konate. Konate will play it forward through the midfield. Chested down by Keita. 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe left. Fabinho for Liverpool. Right foot is swept in. Courtois catches it. And that'll just about be that. It's not going to happen.
No, clipped ball in this time from Fabinho. Courtois has been excellent. He's been terrific. In the first half he made an outstanding save from Sadio Mane. A lot of stuff's gone straight at him, but that's not a coincidence, that's not a fluke. He's put himself in the right areas to deal with things, and when he's had to be very positive, stepping off his line and making sure he's got safe hands, he's looked excellent.
Well, the ball has been put in the net. That doesn't count. The whistle had long gone, and it's a free kick. No time to take it. And Real Madrid have beaten Liverpool in the final again. The Real Madrid substitutes race onto the pitch. The Liverpool players, some slumped, some turned dejectedly, some walked towards their supporters away to our right-hand side. This has just been one of those days for Liverpool. It is a day where what happened off the field, the problems getting into the match, will overshadow what happened on the field. A day when Liverpool had 23 attempts to Real Madrid's 3, but Vinicius provided the breakthrough and Thibaut Courtois did the rest at the other end in a man-of-the-match performance. They've won it yet again, a 14th time, the likes of Modric equaling the individual record by claiming this competition for the 5th time in their career. but for Liverpool it is no magnificent 7, and their sensational season, which saw them end a point short in the Premier League, sees them end a goal short in the Champions League final. Finishes the winner. Tears for those dressed in red. It's finished Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 1.